Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who was apparently a mile away. It was too far, so I couldn't become the first Green Lantern, Kyle Charles,
And the man who mooned Batman and was told to shave, C.Y. Chung.
and today we are going to do a character spotlight on everyone's favorite red-headed Green Lantern, who should get more shine if I'm honest. Guy Gardner. I was about to say Guy Richard Gardner, but I don't actually know what his middle name is.
I bet it's something that's down with Guy Gordon Gardner, yeah, Triple G.
Triple G.
Yeah. So like you're saying, was he a mile away? Look, all I know is that when Aben Sir crashed, and then he was like, "Yo, Ring, get me the person who's fearless," and the Ring was like, "Oh yeah, there's actually two candidates here."
Yeah.
And he just said go to the closer one. So I don't know how far did he actually ever specify what the distance was, the difference.
I remember someone saying he was like a mile. He was like it was something like really close. It was like, oh
Yeah.
okay, if I take
Yeah.
I don't think it ever actually said if it was a mile or not.
Yeah, but there was a point, like you're saying, right, that Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner were beefing, and Guy Gardner goes, "You only got the ring because you were closer."
Yeah.
You know, with the Vin Diesel finger point as well.
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and let me just say, as I was doing research for this episode, so you know Guy Gardner with his Wolverine attitude, if you know what I mean. He's like his hot-blooded biker American attitude, the best way I could kind of put it, right?
America sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. So he would be he'd be the Wolverine to Hal Jordan's Cyclops, kind of, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's not really like that because, well, Hal Jordan's quite rebellious as well, so.
Oh, the human Green Lanterns are somehow rebellious. Yeah. That's their trait.
Yeah. But did you ever read anything with Guy Gardner before he was that version of Guy Gardner? Or even, when I say before, even what I mean is not like first appearances, but anything that even retcon appearances where his personality was different to the standard Guy Gardner personality.
Because I remember, because Guy Gardner always sort of stuck out to me as Green Lantern because his costume was different.
Yes, and you know why that is?
No, I can't. Is it because he wanted to be different? He wanted to stand
out? Okay, retcon, yes, he just wanted to be different, right?
Yeah.
But I think the other thing is it's based on a Manhunter costume.
Okay.
So, okay, well, I'm going to get to it. I'll get to it, right? Yeah. But I need it because it's partially to do with the other thing as well. Guy Gardner, non-aggressive personality is the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read any of that?
No.
Okay.
Was it a situation where he was basically like, when Jason Todd took over from Dick Grayson, he was basically carbon copy of?
No. Okay. Oh well, not quite, right?
Yeah.
Because when they retcon, so okay, there's retcons on retcons here. But first of all, Guy Gardner started like a little bit more of a white bread personality. Yeah. He was a physical therapist or sports teacher and stuff like that, right? Yeah. That sort of area. Yeah. And so then he there was a bus crash or whatever, something like that, and he tried to save the children, right? And then he got injured himself.
Yeah.
And Hal Jordan then rescued him. No, this is normal Guy Gardner, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Green Lantern Hal Jordan rescued him, and they were like, yeah, that guy was going to be the guy who was your backup on the planet. Now you have to find another backup. Well, we have to find another backup. But Guardians, right? They say what they say. Yeah. And that backup was John Stewart. So yeah. But I think Guy had some decent prominence before that because in Emerald Dawn and Emerald Dawn 2, which was the 90s retcon origin of Hal Jordan, where he was in a car crash. He caused a car crash, and then he had to go to jail for 90 days. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do like that. Personally, I think I prefer that origin for Hal Jordan because it makes him a bit more fallible rather than the perfect ladies' man who Hal Jordan is nowadays, right?
Yeah. Well, not anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mid 2000s Hal Jordan was like.
No, just call him out on his crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyways, so he was there, yeah, and basically they had him. He had a similar personality to Hal Jordan, is the best way I can put it, right?
Okay.
And you would have thought, okay, so he went into a coma, Guy Gardner, and that's probably when he come out of coma. That's when his personality change happens, right? That some people come out of coma and they can speak different languages. Some people come out of coma and they, exactly, all sorts of wackiness, right? But that's not the case. Hal Jordan was in his coma, right? And Guy Gardner was in this coma, and Hal Jordan was like, "All right, I help look after your lady for you."
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Guy was having there was mental projections of some sort. So I think Guy's girlfriend had mental powers or something like that.
Okay.
Right, and he could see Guy. He could see Hal Jordan get more friendly with his woman, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And while Guy's in a coma, Hal Jordan's going to marry this woman.
Oh wow.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm saying is that's crazy. That's Hal Jordan behavior, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say I would never trust Hal Jordan with my woman. You got that one friend in your friend group that you're like, nah, I can never trust that guy. No. Right?
You're like, how are we even friends? Sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So you would have thought that was also the cause of Guy's red-blooded American personality, but also not.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you think, okay, a guy's been cool to Hal Jordan, right?
Yeah.
And Hal's like, yeah, I'm just gonna have the roly-poly with your lady, yeah. Even though you could argue it wasn't. Okay, they didn't write it like that, yeah. But the way it comes across is essentially, and not really exactly that way as well, because Hal Jordan's not a complete dick. But if you're writing this, why are you writing it in that direction?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah.
Even if you're gonna say this is the mid '80s and stuff like that, it's still a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. But yes. Yeah. So you never read none of that, right?
No.
You would have definitely remembered if you did.
Yeah, but I would have definitely remembered. Like, wow, this goes more towards my.
So, Guy, how much of Guy's backstory do you know?
Where he was Green Lantern for a bit, and he was a dick in Justice League.
Oh no! I mean, like his youth.
Not much. Was he like? He wasn't a juvenile delinquent.
No, but his dad treated him like one. His alcoholic
abuse him and stuff, isn't it? Or yeah, physically abuse him, innit? Yeah, I remember.
And so, but then that's why he became a kind of a teacher style, mentor style character. Yeah,
didn't one of his wasn't he like a not a counselor or something like that for kids?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. It was all part all in the kind of the similar region. But then it's like, you know what? That's actually logical.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Step. You know, don't let people be like help what happened to you.
Try and stop it from happening to someone else.
Yeah. My words were getting a bit funny because I was like, wait a minute, help what happened to you, help the other people. No, that's not.
I got what you meant. I was like,
yeah. That's not the direction I was going to go. But and so his brother and Guy's older brother became a cop who ended up, and he was a dirty cop.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the 80s origin, because in the late 2010s, I think, when they rebirth, every generation of Gardner family was a cop except for Guy.
Yeah.
Because he got out, he got turfed for reasons, right?
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, it ain't my fault. It was they done me dirty."
Yeah. It was the government's fault or whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Or some outside power that's not really their fault. Yeah.
Well, no. He shot a suicide bomber.
Yeah,
on a plane,
Yeah.
and then I killed people. But no, so shot a suicide on before he could get in a plane. So then, yeah, they kind of like, yeah. And then his dad is a cop in this continuity.
Yeah.
Is beefing with him because every Gardner's, and then look at that, Guy Gardner ends up being a space cop. So you can't really, you can't really beef on that. But then you know how dads are, right? Oh, I say parents, so, I say dads, but people in general, whether it's your parents, your adopted parents, or your friends or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When they got an issue with you, no matter how good you do, they always change the goalposts.
Yeah.
It's like, even though like the rest of Guy's family are normal cops, he's a space cop. All his dad could probably just say, look, you don't put your life in danger because that ring will always protect you. It's always got to be something, you know?
Yeah, like, okay, I've saved the universe many times.
Yeah, a good couple of times, mind you.
Yeah.
Intergalactic Police Force is basically what I'm part of, but apparently the only good police force is the Earth Police Force, which you work for.
With your minor little discrepancies, why I'm like, stopping genocides. But yeah, sure.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, high five to you. Well done. Well, that's like silly stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But then you're like, okay, so shouldn't you started off being more aggressive? But no, this is your backstory.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is so Guy. I believe there was while he was in a coma, he had to help the Guardians fight someone.
Okay.
Like what was they called him for? They called him for something, and he was like, even in his coma, even he had mental projections, had to help the Green Lanterns resolve something. I'm like, all right, this guy's your backup Green Lantern, and he's hurt, and you're like, still trying to on duty? What?
And the worst thing is, I'm pretty sure Green Lanterns don't get paid.
Yeah.
And you're still...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just harassing dude even though he's in a coma. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think, okay, so stop. Okay, so there was okay. So, guy got put in a coma because someone booby trapped Hal Jordan's power battery.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what put not the bus crash didn't put Guy in a coma, right? The bus crash is so conveniently they could write him out, so they could write John Stewart in back in the late 70s when the Martin Luther King movement was happening.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, you just wrote a character out to write another character in, fine. But it just seems like there's reasons behind this, politics behind this,
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Guy Gardner, yeah. Then he had to deal with that while with part of the Green Lantern, and I believe there's part of Infinite Crisis as well. But yeah, he got projected into the Phantom Zone. Mentally, and had to fight General Zod and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, wait a minute.
Hey, what?
Why didn't you never references Guy Gardner?
Yeah.
It's like, and he fought. Okay, we'll get to it, but he fights Sinestro later on, right?
Yeah.
It's like you never mentioned that either. There's stuff here that gives you more like. Since reading the comics, has he ever mentioned anything about his one-on-one fight with Sinestro or how he helped team with Superman to fight General Zod in the Phantom Zone?
I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Guy, you got credibility,
Yeah.
People just think you're all attitude, but you actually you can back it up.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to back. Yeah, maybe he just likes being known for the way he is.
Oh, it's true. Maybe it's like, well, I ain't a glory hound like Hal Jordan, right?
Yeah.
The best Green Lantern, and he makes sure everyone knows it. Nah, man, I just do my stuff in the background. It's all right, Fair enough.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. When was your when did you first ever read about Guy Gardner?
My earliest, because by the time I knew Guy Gardner,
yeah,
he had that bar and he was warrior and all that stuff. Because I think the earliest memory I literally have of him, my dad had like a random Green Lantern comic and he was in it. Well, I never read it. I just remember seeing him on the cover. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
There's a
Bowl
third
cut.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's another Green Lantern. Okay.
Okay.
And
Was this, by the way, this before or after you knew John Stewart was Green Lantern?
then, this is before. Because
Okay.
I only
Okay.
ever knew, you know what, actually, from my memory, okay,
Yeah.
I got into Green Lantern super late. So when I actually knew about Green Lantern, it was when Carl Rayner was Green Lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Same here.
then
Same here.
that's when I found about Parallax. Like, oh, okay. And
Well,
then,
yeah. Even though he didn't exist at that point. Oh no, no. Yeah. Sorry. Yellow Entity Parallax didn't
Yeah.
exist at that point, but actual. Yeah. Hal Jordan in Parallax costume. Yeah.
yeah. And then when I was reading Death of Superman,
Yeah.
and Guy Gardner's in that, and he's a warrior, isn't he?
Well, he's got no. He's Guy Gardner with the yellow ring.
Yeah. Yes, sorry, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, this is Guy. Okay, and then someone explained to me, oh yeah, he was a Green Lantern and blah blah blah. I was like, oh, cool. And then never saw him again until Rebirth.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Where you saw him as Warrior Green Lantern, you were like, Warrior Guy Gardner, you were like, wait a minute, what happened to this guy?
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. One day in the future, I'll probably find out what this meant, and I did.
So, the first time I encountered Guy Gardner was actually probably the same time I encountered all three of these Green Lanterns, the three Green Lanterns at the time in the mid-90s, which Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner, because there was a graphic novel called The Road Back, which collects the first 8 issues of the third run, I think.
Yeah.
This is the one where, like, this is the Carl Rayner, like, this is the one where Carl Rayner became Green Lantern. So it was that one. I think it was the third volume of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah, because by 50, Hal Jordan's gone nuts.
Oh yeah.
This is also just after Cosmic Odyssey, which I didn't know about at the time, where John Stewart is only known for blowing up an entire planet, right? An entire solar system.
Yeah. That's his.
Never live it down.
No.
Yeah. So so John Stewart was being all super. I want to say super duper depressed and guilty. Yeah, so he didn't come off. I want to say he didn't come off the strongest there, but this kind of give him his bit of his revival. Yeah.
Yeah.
It steps back to being more in line with what you expect now. I think even what's odd is with John Stewart's military background, which he didn't have at that time.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you act like that? It's out of character. Why would you think the Martian Manhunter? Nah, I don't need your help later, and then put him in a green bubble, send him away. You know.
Yeah.
Which is why it was always weird to me why John Stewart, they changed it. Like, I know the military background gives them something else, and probably because of Justice League cartoon, but it's just like it doesn't jive with certain other stuff. Anyways,
Yeah.
So Guy Gardner was Green Lantern at this point, and he was beefing with Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is not the test pilot at this point. I mean, he's in between jobs, you know. He's doing the Bruce Banner Lonely Man walk around the world.
Oh, so
ish. Not quite, but just like he's going from job to job. They gave him the Miss Fantastic white hair streaks,
which I've always preferred with Hal Jordan.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think in that particular story, they actually say that Hal Jordan's been Green Lantern for 15 years.
Yeah.
So then white streaks are not out of place at that point.
No.
However, when they retcon it to he's been in Zero Hour, where he's been Green Lantern for about 10 years, he'd have been about 35.
Yeah.
Grey streaks, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just make him look way older than he was, right?
Yeah.
And then when they retconned it to only 5 years, and within that 5 years, Carl Rayner became the Green Lantern as well. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And he's also died. But and then
yeah.
And then he kind of said that the grey hair was because of the being affected by parallax. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, all right. You can just go grey at a young age, but all right, sure, okay. We'll say a cosmic entity is making him go grey.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why I like. It was like, okay, Green Lantern. Guy Gardner just having his problem with Hal Jordan because that's how it is. Yeah. Like that. There's always kick a man while he's down sort of thing behavior, right? But not like to the point where it's like they were friends, but they were just, and Guy was just deliberately being an antagonist.
Yeah. It was friendly banter.
Yeah. Well, that's coming from one direction. It is, yeah. But then when you're the person that's being poked at, you'll be like, just go away, man. Just look, man. There's a reason. I'm just walking around and whatnot. You know, I don't want to deal with any of this beef. I'm not, that sort of thing. But even though they were, I don't know. How would you say they were? I know, but you didn't read it in that period of time. Where
they were
did you?
frenemies?
Yeah, as much as when I say the Cyclops Wolverine relationship, it was like that because they were like they had each other's backs, but then they was like, you know what, I want I want you gone and out of here.
Yeah, have each other's back, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, do you know the reason why Guy got the yellow ring?
No.
Okay, so this was Green Lantern Volume 3, Issue 25, where Hal Jordan's like, Guy, I've had enough of your crap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Guy's like, after all this time, but you know, when the nerd actually stands up to the bully, right?
Yeah.
You want to fight me? Come on then. And we'll do it without, and I think because they had some Justice League members there, they're like, no, you do it without your rings because we don't want property damage. Yeah. All right, fine. And then he's all beating up Hal Jordan. He goes, you think you can fight me? Yeah. But the thing is, what you don't know is I've been using the ring on myself to make myself more at my physical peak and stuff like that. And then I think he tried to punch Hal Jordan in the face, right? And he breaks his own hand against some marble statue or something like that.
Okay.
And then he still comes and beats up Hal Jordan. It's like, wow, okay, Guy, that's something, man. That's them Bane level abilities. Right, and so Hal Jordan in his thought bubble, right? He's covering up, and he's like, "I'm gonna do this like Muhammad Ali did to Joe Frazier." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, he didn't do that to Joe Frazier. He did it to George Foreman."
Yeah.
So in the DC universe,
it was the other way around, I guess.
Well, I don't know. Unless you're gonna say there was a rematch where he did do it. I don't know. But all I can say is, if it's incorrect, well, the DC universe is clearly different because Muhammad Ali fought Superman and no one mentioned it in the real world, so whatever.
Yeah. That was pre-whatever, so you know.
Yeah, and then so Guy Gardner tires himself out and Hal Jordan, he just kind of punch, knock him out, right?
Yeah.
Knocks him down, and then Guy Gardner essentially taps out and says, all right, Hal, all right, and then Hal's like, go on, he puts his hand out to Guy Gardner, right?
Yeah.
And then Guy's like, he looks at him and says, fine, Hal, you're the better man. And then Hal is like, he smirks. It's not like, good sportsmanship or anything. He smirks and basically says, no, Guy, the ring, give it to me. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then so that's how he got kicked out of the Green Lantern cause there.
Okay, that's a bit. Right.
Yeah, and then obviously though, clearly he must be selling comics because they made his own title for him, right?
Yeah, Wait, no, is it not? That's later on.
Well, first it was Guy Gardner Reborn, which is like a 3-part miniseries.
Yeah,
where he tricks Lobo to help him go to Quad because he wants to get the yellow ring. From Sinestro's body, right?
Yeah.
Except that it's not there on Quad. So then he tricks Lobo and the weapons of Quad to go to Oa to attack it, right? Because they were going to do it anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then he hops off there saying, jumps to where the Green Lanterns are, says, yes, the Green Lanterns, the weapons of the Quad are down there, and they kind of like are going to attack you now. And I'm here to tell you because I snuck in with them. I snuck upon their vessel, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, your lies upon lies.
All the lies, all right.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we don't trust you, Guy. And then Killerbog basically says, Guy, are you telling the truth? Because you know how I have your back and you're my boy.
Yeah.
And Guy's like, he just lies through his teeth and says, yeah, you can trust me.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, and then he runs off to get the yellow ring while he's sending everyone else in the other direction.
Yeah.
And then then he gets attacked by John Stewart, who's been possessed by Sinestro.
Okay, didn't know Sinestro could do this, but all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Right. So they kind of fight over who has the yellow ring.
Yeah.
In a battle of the wills and minds, except that Sinestro is also fighting against, I guess, John Stewart behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Mentally, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So Guy gets that ring and beats up John possessed Sinestro. No,
Yeah.
Sinestro possessed John. Anyways, beats him up, right? Takes the ring and flies off. Helps them with their, helps the Owens, the Green Lanterns fight off the weaponers and go, we're all good now. Later. And then Lobo's like, Guy, don't you? You said you're going to pay me to go to Oa, right? To go to Quad.
Yeah.
To get this something for you. And then Guy's like, but we're not on Quad, we're on Oa. So that deal's nullified. I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, all right.
Like, I lied, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so then he's walking around. He's using the yellow power ring, which he has to sneak Green Lantern energy off to recharge, if I remember correctly, at that point, because it doesn't have a power battery.
Okay.
But knowing what you know now, about yellow rings being fear based, even though back then it wasn't.
Yeah.
How does this work?
It doesn't. It doesn't really work, does it?
Okay, you're not going to try to justify that.
Unless he just had a Green Lantern ring that somehow he died to project yellow. I mean, like, that's the only sort of way, or is like a weird prototype that was broken. It does yellow energy.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, in the classic DC continuity, the Weapon of the Quad made the ring for Sinestro.
Okay.
Just because,
Yeah.
Because he was going to lead them to fight the Green Lanterns, but.
Well, the only other thing I think at that point, even if you include like the retcon or whatever, maybe at that point, Sinestro didn't know about the parallax entity and the yellow fear energy or whatever. He just wanted to make him a Green Lantern ring, but wanted them to do it in yellow.
No, it's because the Green Lantern rings had a weakness against yellow for some reason.
Yeah. Oh.
But then. And they just did, right? Just did because Alan Scott's ring had a weakness to wood, so they had to have weaknesses somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Except that when Jeff Johns actually fixed up the retcon, is because they trapped Parallax in the central power battery, and because he's yellow and his fear, and the Green Lantern's gonna be fearless. That was a weakness. I was like, all right. At least that makes sense, you know?
That makes kind of sense. Yeah.
But yes, like you're saying, right? Death of Superman. Now, why did you he got punched in the right? How did he get blinded by Doomsday? He got punched in the face a good couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently not shattered his face, but
yeah, because
just swelled up his face. Yeah,
because when they're all doing their beam spams on Doomsday, he has to get someone to what's it called? Aim his ring for him.
Yeah,
grab his wrist and aim his ring. Which is fine. Which okay,
makes
if
sense.
you know, okay. But if that's the case, why did you ever get close enough to Doomsday to actually let him punch you?
Exactly. He didn't think that one through.
Yeah. You're not a rookie Green Lantern. Okay, you're cocky, right? But at the same time,
know your limits.
yeah, I mean, but then again, here's the other logic. Let me put it this way, right? Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Doomsday punched Superman and makes him bleed. Right?
Yeah.
Blue Beetle got punched in the head a good couple of times by Doomsday. Right? Doomsday then put his head between the car door, something like that, and then closed the door on his head. Right? Slammed it shut. Not like closed it, close it. Yeah. Slammed it shut. The guy's head was still attached to his body. So.
Maybe Blue Beetle has a force field. Oh.
Well, it didn't seem like it looked like he was wearing spandex, but
we don't know how the Blue Beetle costume actually works.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. But in this very same issue, Superman tanked a punch right away from Doomsday. Yeah, no cell punch, right? But then Doomsday did a what's it called? A thrust kick to Superman's chest and sent him flying through houses and trees. So, yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Just jump back for a quick second. Did you ever read anything to do with the Justice League International?
not the original run. No, I
Okay.
read the Justice League International Years Lost. During Brightest Day and all that stuff.
Yeah. But this is the group with Guy Gardner, Captain Marvel, Batman.
Captain Marvel? Captain, you mean, right?
No, Captain. Oh, so Captain Marvel was in the one. Okay, Captain Marvel was in this one, right?
Okay, I didn't know.
But
that.
it might have changed him for that one.
Yeah.
They just said Black Canary, Martian Manhunter, and stuff, and Blue Beetle and stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is the one where Guy Gardner was mouthing off to Batman, saying, "You want to fight me? You want to fight me?" As he does, right?
Yeah.
And Batman just knocked him out with one punch.
Yeah, and that's been a meme for years. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and you would have, you also thought, right, that Guy Gardner's personality would change after he got knocked out by that because you could say the concussion, right?
Yeah.
No, his ring rolled under a table or something like that, right? He goes to pick it up. He gets a rat, an actual rat, scares him underneath the darkness, like of the whatever it is, like shocks him, not scares him, but like wow. And then he bumps his head against the top, the underneath of the table, and then he's all like super kind, Guy Gardner, because he was taking the mick out of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel being Billy Batson's other identity, and basically a kid, and he's saying that guy's mean to me, right? And then all of a sudden, Guy's like really, really kind to him and nice to him. Oh please, Captain! Oh no! Don't tell me you're going. Yeah. So it's like, okay, they. I don't know if they're like, okay, when Guy knocks his head, right, he's got different personalities or whatever.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Justice League International,
Maybe a comedy thing, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't out. It wasn't out to be a smear campaign on Guy Gardner's character. It was just like this entire run is jokey as well. Even people like Batman who do silly things. Well, not silly things, but it's not too serious.
Yeah.
It?
It's kind of like, haha.
Yeah.
Get it? Haha. Yeah.
But yes. So in the Return of Superman.
Yeah.
And there's 4 Supermen. There's Steel, Superboy, Connor Kent, Cyborg Superman, and Eradicator.
Yeah.
Now Eradicator's going and burning people on the streets and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And Guy's like, look, Superman saved me from Doomsday, yeah? So maybe I should have a little investigation of what's what here, right? With this aggressive Superman.
Yeah.
And then I think so they start they don't really have a little fight or something like that, but they kind of have a little, I want to say a tussle, but not really.
Yeah.
And then the Eradicator just burns the hands of some thugs, I think, or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And Guy's like, you know what? Yeah, you ain't so bad. In fact, high five, you are my Superman. I'm like, well, all right, I guess.
That's not weird.
Yeah, well, I would believe that Guy Gardner would endorse a aggressive character like the Eradicator was at that time.
Yeah, but that's a bit, I don't know, because I don't think even Guy Gardner would do that. So that's a bit, I don't know.
Well, yeah, we know actual Superman wouldn't, right? So why Guy Gardner, who's worked with Superman, would think this yeah.
Yeah, okay,
anyway.
That's fine. Like, no, that's the out of character, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Or maybe that's the true version of his character. Now he's in character, just like Guy Gardner is before he was before the bowl cut he was one personality, and after the bowl cut he was another.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, oh yeah, the same thing happened to me happened to Superman. So yes, that's the one.
Yeah, us ex-bowl cut people got to stick together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like you coming up to now Paradox, because they had to. Now, at the time, I'm sure, or looking back at it, did you ever beef with DC thinking, why are they wiping out all the Green Lanterns to make this one Green Lantern, Carl Rayner, the only unique Green Lantern? Or did you not have any problems with that at the time?
I had no problems at the time because I thought, okay, being a child and everything as well, I was like, maybe it's a little. Maybe they're trying to not course correct, but make it more important by having like one again rather than having like.
Well, yeah, that's what they at the time they were doing the not at the time, but like years before, after Infinite Crisis, they were doing the whole like there was no other Kryptonians except for the last son of Krypton, which is Superman. So
yeah.
So I want to say I didn't mind that. It kind of looked like fair enough. You're just making characters more unique, like
rather than hey, there's 6 million of this character. Why should we care about this one? Sort of thing.
Well, not even that. It's even though there are 10 Earth Green Lanterns nowadays, right? At the time there was like 3,600 Green Lanterns because they have the different space sectors, and now it's 2 Green Lanterns per sector, except for Earth. So that's like 7,000 plus. Sorry,
Earth is pick and change. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You guys are here. You only deal with stuff on your planet rather than
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, that's what it is, right? What can you say? Well, yeah. So you didn't mind it, and I didn't mind it at the time. I just thought, okay, that's fair enough. Well, actually, you know what I'd say? I don't think that there was when we were reading it, we didn't know about the politics. I say the politics, but like how the Green Lantern fans prior to that. You know? We just knew what we knew. Like when we knew Wally West was the Flash.
Yeah.
There was no Barry Allen before that. You know.
No.
Just because you assume Clark Kent's always been Superman and Batman's always been
Batman.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Batman's always been Batman.
Yeah. Well, no, because Batman's always been Batman. Whether he's been Bruce Wayne, Jean Paul Valley, or Dick Grayson.
Yeah. Or Terry McGinnis if you go into the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he had, I think, a guy had the yellow ring, and he got called to help try and stop Hal. Well, okay, Hal Jordan became Paradox, and then I think that's so during the Green Lantern run, he became Paradox. But then there was a couple of issues in Guy Gardner's book where he just came up. He came to beat up. You saw him beat up. What's it called? Guy Gardner as well.
Okay.
And it didn't matter about the yellow ring. It didn't matter about the yellow ring at that point.
Yeah.
Because, well, first of all, because Hal Jordan, apparently in the retcon origin of Secret Origins.
Yeah,
where Atrocitus is the character. You know, like when they started doing the different color rings and stuff like that. Tying everything together. And he could lift a yellow. What's it called? Truck.
Okay.
What's the trucks with the thing majig's called?
A freight. Oh, they got freight.
You know the ones where the diggers.
Oh, they are called diggers, aren't it?
Oh yeah. Oh, anyways, he could throw one at Atrocitus and then so when he was able to do that, and then Atrocitus like, but no, it's impossible. You can't. No one can. The yellow ring shouldn't be able to lift yellow or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then Hal Jordan, not being cocky, right? He just goes to Sinestro. Did you see me? Did you see me do it? All in shock, right? And then Sinestro is all sour because Hal Jordan managed to do it. It's like. I mean, he just like pretends that he's like, you know, when you got that look in your face where you're like, no, I did not see that. You want to say I didn't see that just to piss someone else off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, I didn't see that. What are you talking about? You're lying.
Yeah, even though I did see it with my plain eyes because you saved me.
You saved me.
Anyways, but yeah, so I wouldn't say that's the first time that Hal Jordan has done something insane. Hal Jordan also fought. Hal Jordan was one Green Lantern ring when he was a Green Lantern. For Parallax infused Sinestro. And I was like, what? The Sinestro is meant to be on your level, even though he's always taken up a whole bunch of losses to you,
Yeah.
But the power of Parallax is crazy. I know they toned it down, right?
Yeah,
But
but still,
yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so they had to DC had to talk about DC to make Kyle Rayner more unique. They got rid of how Guy Gardner's power ring as well. So
yeah.
fair enough.
So he's
You know,
basically the only ring user in either. Yeah,
aside from aside from Alan Scott, who is called Sentinel at this time.
okay.
Well, no, hold on. They did him as well in Zero Hour.
Did they?
Yeah, so Alan Scott had had his Alan Scott ring, right? And I think the introduction of Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan gives Alan Scott gives Kyle the lowdown on what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
The background of the cause and everything like that.
Mm.
And then after the Zero Hour, where Alan Scott got aged up.
Yeah.
Did he get aged up? No, I think the rest of the Justice Society got aged up, and his ring protected him.
Yeah.
From being aged up because there's no. He just lost like kind of like hope. So he's like, we're a bunch of old men essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And this is young man's game, so he lost his ring as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passing the torch, the only Green Lantern to actually pass the torch to Kyle Rayner, even though technically speaking, it was a Green Lantern who wasn't actually part of the Green Lanterns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where we get Guy Gardner, still popular. Well, still have a fan base, right? But no Green Lantern powers. So they kind of, you know what? Yeah, he has alien DNA, which we never knew about for years.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you know about the Guy Gardner Warrior power set?
That didn't he's like not transform, but like, he sort of does transform, isn't it, into like just a more buffed up version of him with like these red markings and stuff on him.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. To be fair, this is all at this point. I was like, all right, okay.
Sure.
Somehow you can create guns out of your arms, or I mean, look. When you think of it, right, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Of all the powers to give this guy, or side tangent power, whatever, right?
Yeah.
This is a wacky one.
Just doesn't.
Because what they did with John Stewart is just like, oh yeah, John Stewart, you're not Green Lantern anymore. And you know, it's even worse for John Stewart because he was something called the Master Builder.
Yeah.
So he was technically a Guardian. He became the next level of Green Lantern, which was a Guardian, essentially.
Yeah.
But human form, right?
Okay.
And then he lost all his powers because of Hal Jordan. You know what? I don't know if I'd say it was the Iron before Iron, but anyways.
Yeah.
So he became the leader of the Dark Stars or something like that. Well, you know,
their version of the night. I would say the Dark Hawks. Whether it's that.
Well, no. It was the controllers made. They're like, oh, there's no Green Lanterns around, but we should make it intergalactic police force. So they were actually more close to the Nova Corps than you would say Green Lanterns were, because they were intergalactic police, but they actually had the power suits like the Novas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like, okay, well, if John Stewart went out, like, why recruit John Stewart but not recruit Guy Gardner? You know. But then again, there's some wacky team members like Donna Troy, because she was Wonder Girl, but then have Wonder Girl powers. So, yeah, whatever, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like, we got these characters, right? But why don't we do something with them?
Even though anything, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Put them all. Anyone you're not using, yeah, put them in my comic.
Oh yeah, sure, right. That would work.
Either that, or they're like, we're not using these people, but we don't want to get rid of them, so you use them in your comic.
Yeah, basically, it is, isn't it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, okay, and but they all what I liked was how Kyle Rayner's cast members were ex-Green Lanterns, but they all were they got friendly with him, you know.
Yeah.
I would say the only one that would probably be beefing with him was Green Arrow, but that's because Green Arrow's best friend is Hal Jordan, so it's kind of like, Yeah, I guess you would have a problem with the kid who took over his role, but it's not that guy's fault, and it's not that guy's fault that Hal Jordan turned into,
Wait, Green
Paradox.
Arrow? Wait, which Green Arrow?
Oh, I'm talking about Oliver Queen Green Arrow.
Oh, wasn't he dead at this point?
I think there was a little time where between when he was alive and before he was dead, before the existence of Connor Hawk.
Because didn't he die in Return of Superman, isn't it?
Who Oliver Queen?
Yeah.
No, he didn't die there because he had to help Carl Rayner fight Hal Jordan when Hal Jordan came back the second time to take his ring back from Carl Rayner. So yeah.
Did Green Arrow die in Zero Hour then?
No, he doesn't die there either.
So when did he die? Unless it's like a
He does die. He does die there though.
Okay.
Are you gonna give me another? No, he doesn't even die in some big event. He dies because Green Arrow dies because there was a bomb on a plane.
Yeah, there's a bomb.
Yeah, and essentially, Superman could laser his arm off, or he could go. He had to go around. But if he did that, he wouldn't have enough time to rescue some other people. So he's like, all right, but Superman can move at super speed, so that doesn't work anyways. Whatever, right? But yeah, Oliver Queen decides to go down with the plane because, like, what's the point of an archer with one arm? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Even though in his Dark Knight Returns version, he's got only one arm. So
yeah. Oh, that's very silly. Yeah.
I think but that's that anyways, right?
Yeah.
So he was alive for a little time, but then again, I think he had Testy's reaction. He had a little bit of a more testy reaction to Carl Rayner.
Yeah, makes sense.
No, but not Carl Rayner's fault though.
Yeah.
But yes. So Guy Gardner had some alien genes within him, which, knowing that the history that we know about Guy Gardner is like, where did that come from? Yeah. Because is it his mum? Because his dad was beating him when he was a kid, and
when these powers manifest. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, not even that. It's just like, well, if your dad was beating you as a kid and he had this alien gene, would he just turn his arm into an alien whatever weapon and beat you up with it? Yeah. So
unless it's one of those things where it's that dormant he never knew. But yeah, it doesn't make any sort of sense.
No, exactly. Yeah. Of all the things, right? Couldn't you just come up with some sort of arm or whatever to give him or something like that?
Yeah, just any sort of plot device you could have done. He could even went the weird way of he was in a random blast near whatever this alien race's technology's power was, and that bestowed powers onto him, like Captain Marvel. But then Captain Marvel was half Kree, which makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. MCU Captain Marvel, by the way, because I know we mentioned actual Shazam Captain Marvel before.
MCU Captain.
But yes, like what you said, would make sense.
Yeah,
because you can say those are temporary powers that burn out.
Yeah,
and then. So when Green Lantern Rebirth happens, you could just say, you just lost those abilities, whatever, right? But heading on to that, right? Green Lantern Rebirth, where Guy and John are going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And then they're talking to each other, and they're basically saying, "Oh, did you ever miss being Green Lantern?" Guy's like, "Nah, and miss this great, beautiful body that I have with alien powers." Yeah, no, man, don't miss being none of that Green Lantern stuff. And then Ring flies back to Green Lantern. Guy Gardner goes, yes.
It feels good. Like, wow, okay. You changed your song very quick. Right.
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, okay, John, I lied.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah. Actually, just before that, when Hal Jordan came back Paradox Hal Jordan went to the future, and on his way back, he found that young Hal Jordan was out of place in time because Carl Rayner got blasted to the future.
Yeah.
Then he went back. Then the Legion of Superheroes sent back to the past, where he met young Hal Jordan.
Okay.
To fight Sinestro. Then the Guardians sent Carl Rayner back to his present. And Sinestro used the connection with his own ring to manifest a hand to push Hal Jordan into that the Guardian Time Warp over was, right?
Yeah.
Which then pushed Hal Jordan into Hal Jordan's future, which is our past, yeah? Okay. So Parallax is coming back, and then he's asked then how so young Hal has met Guy Gardner and John Stewart, and they're reminiscing about the times, right? And saying, you know, how good you was and that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't mention the Parallax because they didn't want him to turn in that direction.
Huh.
So then when Parallax comes back and he pretends to be normal young Hal Jordan, he's just, oh, you know, I'm just you could say I'm here to find myself. You know how the double speak that you would only know if you know, right?
Yeah.
And then John Stewart was like, Guy Gardner's like, oh, how you're talking like you're doing some soul searching, man. Nah, you know, you understand, like, you know, when you grow up or whatever, right? When in your future, whatever, right? And then John Stewart's like, no, Guy, that's not the young Hal Jordan we had met. He's got the grey streaks.
Yeah.
And then he beats them both up. Parallax Hal Jordan beats them both up, right?
Yeah.
To find himself on the moon. That he has to fight Carl Rain. Then they go back to the past and everyone gets put back in their perfect positions with being Hal Jordan, young Hal Jordan's ring mind wipes Parallax Hal Jordan and his young self. They don't remember these events, and Carl Rayner's ring recharges both of them because they were like low on power.
Yeah.
While Parallax puts everyone back in their right timelines. Okay. Well, but anyways, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Green Lantern Rebirth, yeah. So I know, okay, not to knock Hal Jordan, but they always, you know how they always put him at the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So when they're blasting Ganthet, who is possessed by Parallax,
Yeah.
I believe so. One of them goes deaf and the other goes blind. And then what does the other one do? Can't speak or something like that. You know, that sooner he will see no evil. Yeah, right. Yeah. Except for Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is still blasting his ring because he's too. They like Parallax is like, give up, Hal Jordan. He says, Hal Jordan says, I don't know how to because
that's my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, well, okay, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. But I was glad kind of how Guy Gardner became Green Lantern after this, because it just seemed to be more of his obnoxious personality. When you got a weapon like that, you can be a bit more.
Yeah.
You could be a bit more liberal of how you speak to people.
Yeah.
Because you can back it up.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than how it was before.
Here's the thing, right? I don't know if they're just trying to make Guy Gardner speak like the Thing as well. It's just like, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Try to play up in it.
Yeah. Even though, I don't know. But what do you have to say about Guy Gardner after this point? Which this is where you were reading it.
Yes, this is where I sort of jumped back on when you got Green Lantern. When Green Lantern had two books for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it had Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, where Guy was more of the focus in Corps.
Well, I'd say, okay. I think Green Lantern was the Hal Jordan book, right?
Yeah, that was the Hal Jordan book with his wife.
And then Green Lantern Corps was everyone else's book.
Yeah. But
I'd say the Honor Guard, which would have been
how Kyle comes later because that's when he stops being Ion and he comes out, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's Kyle. I think John Stewart. All right.
Yeah. I'd say it's more of a
ensemble cast.
Yeah. John Stewart and no. I'd say it's more Kyle and Guy Gardner because John Stewart got his spotlight in the Justice League comics.
Oh yeah, he was in Justice League at this. Yeah.
Which made sense. It's like if you're going to divvy up the cast, put them in places where it makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot he was in Justice League at that point.
Yeah. So anything you want to? Guy Gardner, because otherwise I jump way ahead. Because the next thing I remember that's relevant is a bit far forward.
Yeah, and I remember him and Kyle becoming like brothers in a way. They had they got a bond with each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what, kid? I actually like you. Before, I was just kind of tolerating you, but now, nah, you're a good kid.
Yeah, you're a good egg.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I like that. And he came more like relatable than before, and he was just like dick to be a dick.
Well, yeah, the foil just to be a foil, like you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, and it made I think he got a decent amount of shine as well.
Yeah.
The one of the later things actually, hold on, what was it called? The War of the Green Lanterns. Is that War of the Lanterns? What was the one where everyone?
Yeah, it was War of the Green Lanterns.
Was it?
Yeah. Because that's before Brightest Day. That's before Darkest Night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in between Dark. No, it's after. I think.
Oh, it's after. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone gets a different color ring.
Oh yeah, because War of the Green Lanterns is literally. Wait, if I remember correctly, isn't that when it ends when Sinestro kills whoever the main bad guy was and becomes a Green Lantern again, and then
Necron, yep.
Yeah, and then Rebirth, not Rebirth, sorry. Then New 52 happens.
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, So, what was up with all the other Green Lanterns? I want to remember all the 4 Earth Green Lanterns somehow got trapped elsewhere. Actually, I think something infected the power battery.
Yeah.
And possessed all the Green Lanterns. And the Earth ones just happened to not be.
Yeah, for some
connected.
Convenient reason. Yeah, the Earth ones were not. Yeah. Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Sinestro Court War, but yeah, that's fine.
Oh no, go on. Yeah, go. No, you go. Yeah, I've skipped that, but go on. You speak about it.
No, I just remember. I'm trying to remember. I read this. Why do I feel like Guy killed the Yellow Lantern's version of Mongo? It's been so long since I've read this.
Ranks the Sentient City.
Yeah.
I think that was a combination of the. I think did Sonamiya have something to do with that? There was a group that did go in there and do that.
Yeah,
you're right.
I can't remember. I need to read it again because I really liked the Sinestro Court War.
Yeah. No, it was really good. It was really good.
That's when Kyle stopped being Ion and got possessed by the yellow battery parallax stuff.
Yeah.
Guy and John Stewart get captured by what's her name? Lady Dark. What's her name? Laser Dark.
Laser
Drax. Yeah.
The blue lady with the black dress.
Yeah. And then she puts them to a nightmare and they get out.
Yeah.
And then Sinestro, Hal, and Kyle have a fight about their power rings, and Sinestro's like, "You guys are just rats compared to me. Yeah. Even without my ring, I'm still stronger than you." I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, that's another thing. Then Guy gets affected by that it's a Yellow Lantern, a Sinestro Corp member who's like,
yes,
a living virus.
The Sentinel virus, who also killed Kyle Rayner's mum at that point. Yeah.
And then he gets saved by the Green Lantern version of it.
Yeah. The antitoxin or whatever. They was like, okay, well, you know, I mean,
I remember that. Yeah, and then after
it's like, okay, that's okay, fine.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
And he also had a hand in fighting Superboy Prime during the Infinite Crisis, where the wall of willpower.
Yeah.
That they used to stop Prime, even though he didn't. He just Superboy Prime, right? Apparently, okay. Here's what I never get. Yeah, is these Green Lanterns constructs are meant to be willpower, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be super strong. Because you think, okay, they must be super strong, yes?
Yeah.
But all sorts of people are knocking through it. So it's just like, well, the more people do it, the less strong it seems to be.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you see the action movies, yeah, and people break out of handcuffs. They're like, I don't know if you've ever been in handcuffs, right?
Yeah,
But
pretty sure
that
that's how
stuff,
it works. Yeah.
yeah, it's like you can't, no, you don't. Putting against it's not gonna, yeah, unless you're Vin Diesel, of course, right?
Yeah, you can do anything, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, but in movies like handcuffs aren't exactly the most secure things in the world. All right,
Hilarious.
but yeah. So the other thing to mention is when it was the War of the Green Lanterns, and characters got like so the Earthbound Green Lantern. Okay, so John Stewart got the Indigo Ring for compassion.
Yeah.
Which I can get, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, to be fair, I mean, all the stuff he's gone through, destroying the planets and stuff like. I think he even had to destroy Mogo after he got possessed by the undead and stuff like that. So it's just like, fair enough. I get why you got the Ring of Compassion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Rayner got the Blue Ring,
Yeah,
which is Hope. Yeah.
Hope. Yeah.
Yeah, into Torchbearer. So fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that as well. Okay. Hal Jordan got a Yellow Ring.
Yeah. Because of the parallax thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like, well, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say exactly you inspire fear, Hal Jordan. Maybe you get like.
Well, he kind of does. If people go back and remember what he did as parallax.
Oh yeah, so and the Lost Lanterns were beefing with Hal Jordan at that point as well. So I think there was something to it, except that he couldn't control it properly because he wasn't. He was like, yeah, I was possessed by parallax before, so I know how to use this yellow ring. And I'm like, there was one guy in this group that knows how to use your yellow ring, and it's not you, Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Why didn't Guy Gardner use it? But then it's like, okay, Guy Gardner used the Rage Red Ring. All right, the ring that you put on, and if you take off, you die because it possesses your heart.
It's because as well he became a Red Lantern in Blackest Night as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because of when Kyle died. He died.
Well, temporarily, right? I mean,
yeah. The Red.
He this is equivalent for Guy Gardner's Ragequake.
Yeah.
Same as when Vegeta, when Beerus slapped Bulma, and Vegeta went crazy.
Yeah. So that's when he became a Red Lantern before, and then what's his name, Mogo, purged the Red Lantern rays from him, and got help from Kyle to survive it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay, but then so what I didn't get was I trust. Okay, so Guy becomes the leader of the Red Lanterns at one point because he beats up Atrocitus with no ring. It's like, wait a minute, what? How does this happen?
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
is that? Oh, that is true. I'm about to say that New 52, but no, it's not. It's still. This is when they had the third Green Lantern book, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, right?
Yeah. And then they had the fourth Green Lantern book, which was Red Lanterns.
Yeah.
Well, no, they had Green Lantern. They had Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, like you've seen. I don't know if there was Green Lantern Corps at this point, right?
Yeah, I think there was still because
no, because that was it?
I'm pretty sure there was because I remember correctly. Green Lantern Corps became John Stewart and Kyle Rayner.
No, because Kyle had his own book.
No, he had his own book. That went till New 52.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where he was getting all the different colour rings?
Yeah, that was New 52. That happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm just mixing up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yes, and they also had the Red Lantern book as well. So like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because before they had like a one shot as well of what's his name? The Agent Orange. What's his name?
Yeah. Lovelies.
Yeah. And that was before Blackest Night, if I remember correctly, or during Blackest Night. I don't remember.
Yeah. I think okay. What's the last thing you read about with that it involved Guy Gardner Green Lantern? Because I think I was reading New 52, and then I think just like when Spider-Man just started spawning too many books, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta drop some of these books that I've got because there's too many of them. Or prices were going up and stuff like that, you know. So I was like, okay, you know. I think at that point, as well, that run was I don't know what DC was doing, but all I know is that there was they were relaunching the Green Lantern book with Hal Jordan Green Lantern. And I was like, all right, well, if he's and he was on the run, so only he was in the book. It was like, okay.
Oh yeah, that weird one when he had like a trench coat and long hair.
Yeah. And then,
like,
but then there was no books for
thing.
Yeah. And there was no books for anyone else. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, that was that weird DCEU, was it?
I don't know.
When Superman had half his powers, he had a shaved head and wore around in his t-shirt and jeans, and his fist was wrapped in his cape, and then Batman was George Jordan. Jim Gordon. That was around that time. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. And I believe he was just before that there was this dude called Relic who came to fight the Green Lanterns, and it was the New Gods and the Green Lantern, the New Gods were making a mockery of the Green Lanterns, like, oh, right, okay, Yeah. It's just like, okay. I mean, but you're all powerful. Look, guys, there's got to be some wacky power leveling here somewhere, because these weapons, these Green Lanterns are potent,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't remember much of him in the New 52, except for that. When he did, was it 0 Year, where they had like the origins of all of them.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
did his origin slightly, where he was a school teacher and all that stuff. Well, guidance counselor, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I can't even remember anything else of that. He's even still about. I don't even know if he's still actually about.
Well, yeah, and I think they are around, right? But I think it might be that we've cut off at a certain point.
Yeah, because I just kind of don't know where any of the Green Lanterns are at this point, except for I knew at one point Jon Stewart was a part of the Justice League.
Yes.
And then Kyle Rayner became the White Lantern.
Yes,
then
for a bit.
Mega Lantern, right? Off of that.
Yeah, exactly. For a little bit as well, and then he went back to being a normal Green Lantern.
Yeah, because that's what he always does.
Yeah.
He has godly hood, and then it's taken away from him. He goes back to being basement level. And rinse repeat with him, but yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely know what Guy Gardner did for that.
But what we didn't mention was his on-off romance with Yes, yeah.
The Norwegian ice god person.
Yeah. Which I say on-off, but it's very on-off.
Yeah, because it's always like DC will bring her back to life, and then it won't do anything for a while.
And
bring her back
then,
again.
And then Guy Gardner's actually relevant, so we're gonna sweep him over there, and then he is relevant again. So he's like, okay, come back over here.
It's a weird one with her.
Yeah. I will say this as well, actually. Just in closing, let's talk about the live action version of Green Lantern. Green Lantern, of Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Oh my goodness!
That terrible Justice League movie you watched, didn't it?
Yes. Wait, he had kind of Kyle Rayner's mask with Guy Gardner's jacket, but Kyle Rayner's symbol, which was like, all right, But he acted like Hal Jordan, probably more than any of those two characters. So yeah,
kind of like pick a lane. What you gonna do,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, forgot about that. That was freaking terrible.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's not talk about it, because there's nothing to say other than it wasn't him. It was just a dude with his name.
He was in Batman Brave and the Bold, and he was quite funny in that cartoon. Yeah. He was
but then again, the Brave and the Bold is more of a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What are you thinking of Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner?
Quite happy, but kind of like it's a bit late, isn't it? Sort of thing.
Well, as in he's too old to be Guy Gardner?
No, I wasn't too old. It's like, oh, okay.
I have to say about that is back in the 2000s, right? Yeah. I think Nathan Fillion would have made a perfect Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah.
But then I don't also get is this is Superman Legacy is like going to take place while Superman's been Superman for a good couple of years, right? It's not an origin story.
Yeah, well, thank God for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose you could have had Hal Jordan as Green Lantern, because at some point, if he gets his own movie, he could be the wise veteran.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not so sure about Guy Gardner, but then again, if depending how you play it,
Yeah.
how comedic. But then you could also, they probably adjusted their timeline because they're waiting for how, like, if they have a Green Lantern movie, if and when,
Yeah.
then Hal Jordan will be the main character in that, I reckon. Do you think, or will it be Jon Stewart?
I don't. See, with these Green Lanterns, especially say they're doing this in a timeline where Superman's been around for a while, whatever. You can easily have any of those three, really.
Yeah.
Or even all three at the same time. So, oh yeah,
Yeah. I like one in space, two. I mean, sorry, two in space and one on Earth.
Yeah.
With the Justice League.
The only one would be weird if they brought in like Kyle Rayner. Like, there's too much backstory for him to be. It's too much. How he became Green Lantern is too much for you to sort of like just say, no, he's got a ring. Yeah.
And by the time that he does become Green Lantern, it could be an epic story to get to that point. You know. And then you have to go to a scenario. You know what? Like that entire if they were doing that saga for TV, it'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good, 13 episodes or whatever. Then you got the entire 5 seasons or something like that. To do that. Actually, I'd like to say it'd be a 10-season show because you've got to go through all of that to build all the characters to get to that point to then get to Blackest Night. But no, that's just there's a lot to go through.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Yeah, we had 9 seasons of The Flash, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't even ever get to the return of Barry Allen storyline, so...
Oh, yeah, but, I'm okay with, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it'd have been neat if they built to that point, and then Wally West takes over for a little period of time, and then Barry Allen comes back, but it's not him, because there's something wrong, and that could have been a whole season story arc, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, I think the normies wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, are you looking forward to see a correct? What do you think, Nathan? Do you think Sean Gunn's version of Guy Gardner will be more in line with redneck Guy Gardner?
I don't think so. Especially you've got Nathan Fillion. Nah, I don't think it will.
I think he could play. Oh, okay. So if someone like if it was Michael Rooker, yeah. No, not Michael Rooker because he's way old. But what I mean is that sort of portrayal, yeah. If it was young Michael Rooker and he was speaking like that, right, like he does, yeah. Is that closer to your screen version of what you think Guy Gardner would be?
Close enough, yeah.
Okay, but you're thinking Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner. How were you thinking that was going to be?
I think he's going to be Nathan Fillion, if I'm honest.
Oh, okay, all right, okay,
which kind of works.
Yeah. I mean, he'll have to dial up the obnoxiousness a little bit to be more how we think Guy Gardner is. Because he's still got a charisma, yeah? So, and you can pull these things off. I know they had to tone Wolverine quite down to be a likable character that Hugh Jackman portrays. Because Wolverine from the comics is not quite like that.
Well, now he's sort of... But before he was like,
I think they adjusted Wolverine around Hugh Jackman, just like they adjusted Iron Man around Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So are you looking forward to... you think he's going to be the... Nathan Fillion's just going to act like Nathan Fillion, but you don't think that's going to be a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I like how he acts. Yeah.
So you're kind of looking forward to seeing how that will turn out? Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Do you think that Green Lantern TV series that was meant to come out, 5 years ago now, will ever actually come out? Or do you think they're going to be like, nah, we're doing the DCEU, forget all of that?
I don't know, because wasn't there something where apparently that is still coming out? They just rejigged it?
I don't know, because when the Crisis on Infinite Earths TV series, the Arrowverse CW one happened, and then they made sure to do a specific Earth with the Guardians of the Universe. Yeah. Earth 11 or something like that. and they just never shifted on that since.
Oh.
Yeah, and I wonder who was actually going to be Green Lantern there.
Because I think James Gunn said that lanterns it is going to be a thing, but.
Or do you think, okay, will it be a thing connected to the standard DCU, or will you say...
Apparently everything now is meant to be connected in the new DCU thing, yeah. Like the TV shows, the cartoons, and the games, all that stuff will be connected.
Oh, I don't know about everything, because that's a bit too much.
Yeah, not everyone. Obviously, like the Batman's not connected to it, but...
No, as in, get video games, cartoons, and all that stuff connected to it. It might be...
It won't be all the cartoons. I think like certain cartoons.
Yeah.
Like was it Creature Commandos and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't think they were like say like Teen Titans Go, the new ones would be like connected sort of thing. You know what I mean? I think like certain stuff they make would be like, yeah, this is part of the DC blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So
okay. But you're hopeful, and considering the amount of characters that look like they're going to be in Superman Legacy, I don't expect Guy Gardner to have a lot of screen time.
Nah, no. I reckon to me it would just be a cameo. If I'm honest, I reckon.
Or or something, right? Something that's to be fair with James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
He has lots of characters make appearances in Guardians of the Galaxies, and still. They got in and out of they came in their scenes, they done their thing, and they went right. Yeah. And so I wonder what he's going to do with all those characters as well. Yeah. But like you were saying, I hope it's more closer to how Guy Gardner would be. But I'm thinking they're not gonna. You have time to make someone obnoxious and likable, so it might be they'll tone him down a little bit, and then maybe. When they get the cast out Hal Jordan, he can be a bit more of a. He can Guy Gardner will maybe be a bit more in your face.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully that's
where it goes. Yep. Yeah. All right. I guess that's us signing off for this episode.
Yes, sir. Yes,
on
sir.
Our boy, the ginger man with the bowl haircut.
Yep. Which is kind of changed now. Yeah. You know.
Well, yeah. I have to say he rocked that style for years. So. Yeah. And no, who comics has such a haircut and wears it so proudly, Hey.
Except for actually even Superboy in the 90s, he had that, but he doesn't have that anymore. So yeah.
Did Superboy? No, he had the undercut, the shaved sides.
Yeah, the trunks. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. They just want them kids to be buddied. Oh. Yes. So yeah, that's us about Guy Gardner. Yeah. Guy Gardner, the greatest Green Lantern of all time.
Well,
I'll say it loosely.
Would you say to you he's the second? Well, okay, I think Carl Rayner's the greatest Green Lantern.
Yeah, same.
Right. But would you say Guy Gardner's second or third to you?
I would personally join him and John Stewart as second.
Okay, and then you're saying Hal Jordan's third, right?
Yeah.
Because Hal Jordan gets that limelight handed to him, and everyone else. Has to work for it.
Yeah,
that's why even though he's got probably more impressive feats, he's just like when they say you make lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah.
How do you want to get handed lemonade? Everyone else could be like,
yeah, he gets handed Sprite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but then lemonade. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Yes. So yes. Thank you for listening. And if you're listening to this on the audio realm, please leave us a 5-star review and tell us what you liked. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. And also, you can follow us on our social media platforms, which the links for that will be in the in the description section. And while you're there as well, give us a like, And until next time, guys, I have been the man who somehow had alien DNA, but then when I came back as a Green Lantern, the parallax who possessed me overrid that DNA for me to be back to human. Downgrade in a way. Carl Charles and...
and the man who looks up to General Glory, who is a Captain America ripoff, by the way.
Oh.
Siwa Chung.
And thank you once again for taking a trip with us around the multiverse, which does include Sector 2814, which is just thought I'll throw that little Green Lantern reference in there. All right, guys. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.